the Raiders are one of those teams that are looking to get into the playoffs, and they had a dominant win over the Broncos. I'm not sure if it was more Raiders being great or the Broncos and specifically Drew Lock being horrible. He threw 4 interceptions in that game, but as of now, the way you see the Raiders, do you think that they're a lock to make the playoffs? Riv, I want to start with you.
I don't think there is a lock for those 5 to 7 teams in the AFC. I think them, the Browns, the Dolphins, they're going to be scrambling for a playoff spot. But I had them going in the playoffs for me because I just feel like, and I picked them on that game when they beat the Chiefs because I feel like that game really gave me a feel like, yo, this team is legit. It's for real. Derek Carr, I can jump on the Derek Carr wagon, and I can believe in Derek Carr. This team is good, has a solid team. So I like this team to make the playoffs. I wouldn't say they're a lock though, because there is no lock in the AFC right now.
Personally, the Raiders have been one of the teams that have impressed me most this season. I mean, playing in a tough division with the Chiefs, I didn't expect much out of them. Ever since the MVP candidate season that Derek Carr had, and he had that injury, he hasn't been the same. But you look at them this season, and while they're 6-3, which is, I'd say pretty middle of the pack in the NFL this year, slightly above average, they have competed with everybody. They're the only team in the league to beat the Chiefs so far this year, which is, a gold star achievement because I think they're still the best team in the league. And they have hung around in every game against very good teams. So I personally think with this expanded playoff format, they're a lock to make it at this point. And they do have a slightly tough schedule ahead of them. They're going to play the Chiefs again this week. They got the Colts. They got the Chargers. They have the Dolphins. All of those games.
They do have Jets and Falcons, though.
Yeah, and I was just going to say that. They had the Jets, the Falcons, the Broncos, which should all be easy wins. But, I just think that with as competitive as they've been, the one blowout that they've really had all season was the Buccaneers. And even that game wasn't as bad as the scoreboard showed, in my opinion. So I think that with this expanded playoff format and the way they've been playing, they're a lock to make it.
See, that's your mistake, Jack. You're trusting the Raiders. I'm not trusting the Raiders, and I'll tell you why I'm not trusting the Raiders. Last season, they started out 6-4. I said on the podcast last year, the Raiders are making the playoffs, no doubt about it. They're going to make it. John Gruden, Derek Carr, I was on the bandwagon. Last year, when they started 6-4, they lost 4 in a row. Do you want to know the teams that they lost to in that span? I'll name you 3. The Broncos, the Jaguars, and the Jets. The Jets had no business winning that game, and they came into MetLife and we blew them out. And they finished the year 7-9. This year, yes, they're 6-3, but are we sure they're going to beat the Falcons? I don't know. The Falcons have been playing better since Dan Quinn got fired. Are we sure? I don't think they beat the Chiefs. Do they beat the Colts? What about the Chargers? The Chargers are in every single game. The Dolphins, what about them? And the Broncos, you never know what you're going to get from Drew Lock. And then the Jets, I'm worried that we can get our first win against the Raiders because we did it last year. And if Donald doesn't play, Joe Flacco, I'm telling you, he's been a good quarterback for the Jets. And he might win us a game, and we might not get Trevor Lawrence.
No,
just wanted to throw, like, I'm looking at the schedule, like the Raiders, Miami, Baltimore, Cleveland, Tennessee. They all have the same record. So to say that they're a lock, Jack, I don't know. Only 3 of those teams can get it, and the Patriots just won 2 straight, so they're creeping. I'm not going to say they're gonna, get in, but they can make some noise, beat some teams, mess some little things up. So I wouldn't say necessarily a lock. I will say though that you guys, Joel, you are chatting. The Jets are not going to beat the Raiders.
I never said they will. I said there was a possibility.
There isn't a possibility. This team last year is a big difference. You guys weren't horrible last year.
Riv, would you have said that it was a possibility for the Jets to beat the Patriots on Monday Night Football before it happened?
You guys beat the Cowboys last year. You guys were just beating teams you weren't supposed to.
No, but I'm saying this year we almost beat the Patriots. Nobody before that game thought it was going to be a close game. I'm saying that winless teams, sometimes they have a great game, and it can be against the Raiders.
You guys found the way to lose that game.
Okay, but you never know. It can be against the Raiders. I'm just saying the Raiders, I like them. I love Derek Carr. 16 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1-2 punching Josh Jacobs and Devontae Booker, who both had 2 touchdowns against the Broncos. I love the Raiders, but I am not going to put my trust in them again. And sometimes you lose to teams that you're supposed to beat. And the Raiders last year did just that. They were supposed to make the playoffs last year.
You can say the same thing about every team in the wild card, though. You can say that about all the teams, though. They could lose a stinker. It happens in the NFL.
No, yeah, and I'm just saying, with Joe Flacco at center, the Jets are a much scarier team than with Sam Darnold. As bad as that sounds, because we had so much faith in Darnold. But they're a different team with Joe Flacco at center.
Don't put scary in the Jets together.
Yeah, I personally don't think the Jets are scary, no matter who's playing quarterback on the roster. But I will say, now that I'm looking at it more and more, I'm taking back my lock statement, but I do think that they're either going to be in the playoffs or the first team out of the playoffs. The reason I say that is because I think the Bills and Dolphins are a lock. The Steelers obviously are a lock. The Chiefs are a lock. That's 4 teams. So then it's going to come down to the Ravens, who I think are a lock, which is 5. And then you have the Colts, Titans, and Raiders. It's going to come down to those 3 teams. One of them is going to win the AFC South and clinch that berth, and then it's going to come down to who can win the last wild card spot out of those 2 divisions. I don't know. I was super high on the Titans to start the year, but over the past few weeks, they've really disappointed me. I don't know if I could trust them. And the same thing with the Colts. They're like a roller coaster ride. I don't know what to believe out of them. So it's going to be an interesting race between those 3 teams, but realistically 2 teams, because one of them is going to win the division. That's why I say I personally don't think the Browns are going to be a playoff team come the end of the season. So I think the Raiders are going to be the last team in the playoffs or the last team out.
The Raiders are undefeated in the division right now.
Yeah,
I mean, you never know. Look, I love the Raiders, and I'm one of the biggest Derek Carr fans out there. But it's just really hard to trust the Raiders, especially when their defense. After this game, they just got into the top 20. They're the 18th ranked defense now. They just got into it. You really don't know what you're gonna get out of the Raiders week to week. And I think last year the same can be said, and that's why right now I'm more hesitant than I ever was before when I talk about the Raiders. Hey, what's up, guys? You just finished watching a clip of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Joel Moran.
My name is Jack Barteck.
My name is River Brown.
And we are your hosts for this podcast. We want to thank you guys for watching the clip. Like, subscribe, and comment, and share if you would care to, because it helps us grow. We're trying to make this a full-time thing. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for supporting, and see you next time.